I will call to order the Public Works Committee meeting Tuesday, May 7th at 8:18. We've already had a call to order on this item of meditation and pledge of allegiance. May I get a roll call, please?
Yes, Mayor Cabillos. Here. Councilperson Roman.
Here.
And Chairperson Mathis.
Present.
Also present, interim village attorney Norman Howell, village manager Christia Alou, and some other members of the council who are not on the committee, but they're also present. Apologies.
No problem. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? Hearing none, can I get approval for the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve. Did we approve the minutes?
We haven't gotten it.
I was like, wow, when did that happen? I didn't notice that happened. I was like, I missed that part.
It's been moved by Mayor Cabillos, seconded by Councilperson Roman. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the minutes for March 5th.
Can we table those? I mean, I haven't read them, I apologize. I'm usually good about that, but I don't know why.
Can I get a motion to?
I'll make a motion to table the minutes for July, please.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Okay. And we'll go right into the agenda item track report, which I emailed Ms. but they don't think this is not it. Long shot. I know that we had gotten a call from our lobbyists with regards to monies. Christia, did they speak to you? Can you give us an update? And I don't think that we made it this year. I'm not.
Our
But
water projects?
Yes.
Yes, sadly, we were not funded in this budget, but our lobbyists are planning to come to our next council meeting to give a more detailed report of their experience in Tallahassee this legislative season, and for us to plan and strategize about what we can do for next year.
And I also spoke to Jason Pizzo in his office. I know they're tired of me, but he said that this is a fight that he is in for the long haul, and he is going to get us something. So, Mayor, do you touch on something?
No, work never stops. Just because session ends doesn't mean that work ends. In fact, it's when session is over that we probably should do most of the work. I did get a call from Charlie from Congressman Frederica's office with regards to something possibly coming up, but I have not gotten follow-up. So with regards to maybe some federal money to help with septic to sewer on a more regional aspect, but I haven't gotten anything more than that. So I really haven't shared it. It's too out there. So if I get anything more concrete, I will share with the manager.
Councilperson Roman?
Nothing.
Do we have a follow-up on the potholes management?
In terms of,
Them being filled?
yes, they're filled by our staff here, Code Enforcement Officer Carlos Garcia and Robert Echeverria, who does maintenance and public works. They fill potholes. Great village.
I have a question. So, yes, they do it because that's what we can afford is putting a Band-Aid on the situation. So,
Yes.
how many potholes do we have that require professional, whatever you call that, repotting?
Yeah.
Whatever. And what does that cost look like? Because for us to plan on potentially eventually fixing it, because it's going to cost us, $4,000, $3,000, $1,000. Eventually, we have to know what the totality is. Do we have 25 and each one is costing us $10,000? Can we get that somehow?
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Because that'll help us plan,
And I
whether
will-
it's through CBGT or whether it's through CITT or there are so many other avenues, maybe.
And if I may, I agree. We need to, we are just putting a Band-Aid on a big problem, and we don't have the funding to do road resurfacing or repair in a way that would be significant enough to cure that. But what I am doing is I just sent in our request for our local gas tax option to do some road repair, and I'm hoping to do that at Northeast Second Avenue, which was something that came from our comp plan and something was discussed with Serbia, but also we've asked before, so we're just asking again for funding and the CDGB funding, we are hoping that we will be funded on that as well to do road repair and what have you. So we're waiting to hear if these are just.
We have to just make sure, because aside from the CITT being held as collateral to pay back the potential loan, did we not use a half tax as well?
No, we're not. We're holding on to see what happens.
But there is a contract that I signed that went to the state that says that if and when this, because there are portions of the money that has been given that we did use, and that Pannoni has been paid, and there's a portion that we're going to have to pay, and if we get the loan, we have to pay. But there are monies that we obligated, and I know it's CITT, although I didn't agree with it, but I don't have the contract in front of me, but I thought it was also the half-tax gas. So we really need to take a look at that.
Right, well, from what I understand, we're not touching that because of loan repayment. They want to just keep it separate. That was so that's why I'm going to other.
Yeah, but you just mentioned half-tax.
Yes,
You just mentioned half
but
gas.
I'm just asking.
I don't think it is, we're just not sure.
But I will tell you, it's $38,000, and I'm hopeful that we can utilize it for that road. But it
Let's
is,
just double check what that contract says.
yes, absolutely.
And we would utilize that not just to patch potholes, it's for
No,
this.
it's to resurface, but again, understand, to resurface even a half block is going to be about $11,000. And that area is so potholed up on, I think I pointed out
Yeah,
to 89 in Northeast Second.
So is that something that maybe Craig Smith could do? Because I'm not sure if Carlos and Robert have that capability. Can Craig Smith do a survey of the El Portal and let us know which, A is really bad potholes, that can ruin tires, B is this, C is this, and what the totality is in terms of cost?
I agree. No, Carlos and Robert don't have that capacity, but I would, I could ask Craig
Yeah.
Smith to do that.
Now, I know before the county was assisting us to fill in potholes.
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, that's why if we have something in concrete writing that, like, hey, we went out and you gave us bids, and then this is the middle of the road, we're in a better position to ask for money. We don't have that right now.
Well, aren't some of those county roads, so.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that I know that at one point the county.
Well, we only have
Jason
two
did
county
have-
roads, and they're not bad. North Miami
No,
Second
no,
Avenue.
I know, but some of the, I remember when they were doing some of the, what do you call them, when you're turning into it, the entry points, they went ahead and there was a couple potholes, people turn and it just rips up the road. They were filling those too, so.
Mr. Chair, if I may. Yeah, so when this started, well, and you're absolutely correct, and Councilperson Ramon, so when it started, so what happened was, when I first brought this up, there were potholes, and part of it was because the mayor also almost got injured
Oh, running.
running.
I
And
did,
that
actually, I
was-
did get it.
and
Actually, I
she-
did get
she
injured.
got
I
injured,
fell.
yeah. So
Twisted
that's
my
kind of
ankle.
how all this kind of stuff started. And at first we did use, the county did help us, and that was because when they would come out to do a job bigger, we would tell them, like, they would just do it as a courtesy, like, oh, well, you guys, while you're out here, there's also a pothole here and here and here, and they need to take care of it for us, and that's the way it was just like that, but I don't know how that relationship is.
It's because Jason Walker was crafty. No, all kidding aside, I think we need to just get it. I think we need to just get the totality, because you are right, you have a fantastic memory. I forgot about that. I should remember it was my sprained ankle, but yes, I think we should have an idea, because you never know.
I can say I have approached the county on a number of occasions with no success, so I will continue to pursue some opportunities. I've spoken with or the
JOB or JOB?
yes, and they said yes, we could utilize, you know, this funding for pothole or for this road resurfacing as it relates to, you know, the gas tax, but I will have to go to the county again.
Hurricane season's approaching. How are we handling tree trimming?
We are going to do a round of tree trimming. And that is going to be scheduled in the, well, we're about to, it's going to be June. So yes, we'll hopefully do this in June.
And are we using the same company? Or?
Yes, we're still using Mitchell
And they do our,
Landscape.
okay, so we don't have to go out for the, any committee members want to touch on anything?
Yes, septic to sewer. I called the manager on Friday, if my memory serves me correctly. I got a call from Arida Cartaya from the school board on a wide array of things, but predominantly because of septic to sewer and the nature trail, which she thought was already done. But anyway, a long story short, we are meeting, Arida Cartaya is that person, that if you want anything done, she's got to be at the table. And she's sort of Alberto Carvalho's, you know, I don't remember her exact position, but, so she has requested a meeting, and I'm behind in emails, and I read it today, and I just told the manager, actually, when I got here. So Arida will be coming here. I asked her if she can come here because to facilitate. So we're meeting with her on Thursday at 11:30 here, and she wants to talk about the septic to sewer. She wants to hear, and she wants to bring in the nature show. She wants to see how we can put them both together and hopefully make this just all come to life. She doesn't know, but she asked me to be there, and she asked, well, I said the manager has to be there. Oh, I probably should have, well, maybe that's right, maybe we should just, I think it's only her coming. So we'll find out who's coming, but she called on Friday.
So Thursday.
No, she
11.
didn't, did she call? Yes, she called. She called. Thursday at 11:30. Let's see, and I think that's the only thing that I have. The only thing about Public Works is the same thing that I will say, like I said, in code enforcement. There's a lot to be desired where it comes. You know, the thing is that we have great ideas, and I'm a supporter of all great ideas. And hey, I'm guilty of this too, where I have a great idea, but then it comes to life, but then we don't have a plan, right? How is this going to look like in 5 or 10 years? So I say that because I remember in 2014, we were really excited about the trash cans. We put, 11 out throughout all of El Portal. We put, 6 or 7 benches out. Sherwood Forest came to life. The signs came to life, but then there's no maintenance plan. And then we're all here 5 years later, and things start looking dilapidated. So I really asked the Public Works Committee to really take a look at that, as far as what's our plan to, the trash can, and it requires cleaning. I mean, they're industrial, and you can pick up the garbage every week, but if there's no plan to clean them, it's going to smell. And no matter how much you pick up the garbage, it's going to smell. And then the surrounding area, because we had to back then when we had the trash cans, there's 11 in El Portal. When we had them put out there, we had first cement put on, and then we had them bolted down. We spent $20,000 putting those 11 trash cans out throughout El Portal in 2014. We spent another $700-800 putting 4 doggy do stations. So, but with everything, it all requires maintenance. So we're at that point now where it requires maintenance. So I'd like the Public Works to really take a look at what that's gonna look like as we move forward for the new budget year. The dog use station probably needs to be replaced. Sherwood Forest looks a little abandoned. You know, and again, not that it's our fault, it's just, it's the cost of life, it's the cost of the wear and tear. Everybody gets old, we all get old, things get old, and we require a little more attention. So as we move forward, you know, septic to sewer is fantastic, the expansion of the nature trail is fantastic if that comes to life, but oh my God, there's gotta be maintenance in place. So I'd really like to see maintenance of what we have, before we go out there and be like, rah, let's do more. So let's really take a look at what we have. Who's chair of public policy? Let's take a look at, you know, some of the things that we have, but because we have great resources for our residents, but they just don't look so great. So if we could really, you know, take a look at that, and I was going to bring it up at Admin and Finance as well in a couple of weeks, but you know, we're all getting ready to move into the new budget year. So as we move into the new budget year, these are the things we need to think about. Instead of more. The same thing goes for the top line. That water fountain was put in 2015. You know, and before that, it had been like 20 years before there was a water fountain on there. So there's got to be a maintenance plan of the water.
Speaking of the top, I noticed when Christian and I were taking a tour, the barbecue grill's gone.
So, you know, I mean, so it's just, I think we really need to take a look at our assets and what of our assets needs proper a plan of wear and tear. That's, again, it's normal. Same thing with our building. I mean, you're going through it. I don't think anybody should work in the conditions where there's mold in there. That's horrible. You know, the duo trash can that's in front of the village hall, you know, I had that put back in 2015, but sometimes it smells. So it's like everything requires, you know,
It does.
maintenance.
It requires more
Okay?
maintenance.
So everything requires maintenance. So we need to just, you know, take a look at that and budget for it.
Chair, if I may.
Sure.
Great. So just a couple things that I'm thinking of because we are in Public Works. There's the drainage on 90th and Northeast 2nd. I have the resident that lives in the corner of that. He's told me he's called. I don't know who he's called, but he says he's had it like uncovered or cleaned before, but it needs to be cleaned again. So I don't know when he called. He just happened to see me as I was walking
the drains?
the dog.
The drains clean?
The drains, so when it rains, it gets flooded
Right.
because it's not cleaned. And that's the one on my street, 90th, in the corner of Northeast 2nd, right across the street from,
The surgical station?
Yeah.
Surgical station.
yeah.
Is that on the east side?
So it's really on the north side. So is that Miami Shores?
No,
Huh?
it's up.
It's Overtown, okay. So, yeah, so then,
It's where the cosmetic,
with the cosmetic
surgical
places.
center is.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
What?
Okay, that's county. And so what I would
Yeah.
have to do, as I did on Northeast 89th Street and Northeast 2nd, is call Durham and ask them to come and clean that drain.
On that note, Councilperson Romeo, if you give me
Yeah.
a second, is that, so all of the drains are county?
Yes,
Okay.
on Northeast 2nd.
So how often do they come? Because I could remember when you first started,
Yes,
weren't you
we did.
hit with the report that had to get done?
Yeah.
Or after Irma? So how often do they come and clean that?
Whenever I keep calling and begging them to come
Okay.
clean it.
Because the
It's
other
supposed to
one,
be
I mean, it would be
rotation.
great if they were sort of systematic, because they're all pretty bad.
Yes.
The other one that is horrible, and it's so funny because we all think of it because it's where we live, right? But, you know, I live right attached to the school, and there's one right there, and I have to always wear my rain boots, and I feel bad for the kids that are getting out of school because it's pretty gross. Now I'm pretty short, right? So the water gets to my knees. I'm sure if Councilperson Irma walked by, it'd be his ankles, but mine goes to my knees. So that, you know, I don't know if that's something that maybe when it rains, have Robert go out to all our drains. I don't know if we have a map or all our, because county's never gonna like, the county's wonderful. The county's never going to.
And
The
they
county's never
eventually
going
came
to.
and cleaned that drain.
But if we have like a map of all our drains,
But-
we have a map of all our drains that Robert say, because we're gonna have some rainy days in the next
Yeah.
few days. If he can go out there and just say, manager here, like these are the really bad ones, and him or Carlos call.
Or if we could just put them on a maintenance schedule where Carlos or Robert can call regularly, or is that a call that you have to make?
That's a call I would have to
Oh,
make.
okay.
But,
All right. Well,
yeah, we
I
just
mean-
have to stay on top of
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
I'm not leaving tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
it's,
don't know.
You know,
The other item that I have from our notes from our last meeting is the LED lights. We said that we were going to circle back to make sure that all of the lights, the lighting is the same. So I don't know if, I just want to give a reminder that that's something we should be doing to make sure that all of our lights are working and that, you know, they're all the same.
And to that end, I can tell you too, I forgot to tell everyone, this is, I found out today, the nature trail lights are out. I don't know if that was a result of the storm, we called the electrician, they haven't come out yet. So that's FYI, in case, we're gonna keep it closed until the lights are back on over there.
Okay. And then, speaking of the nature trail, because a resident did ask me what's happening, and there's so much that's been happening or not happening. So I just want to
That's
get,
another one that has to go to the maintenance plan, because those, yeah, that's.
yeah, it needs to go into a maintenance plan, but we did get some money for that, and so can we just discuss it a little bit, or what?
No, the $20,000, that was the grant that was awarded when Robert and I went in. It was $20,000, but it can only be used if it's expanded and we add gym equipment. It can't be used to fix it up.
Okay, so is that money that we still have that we can use?
No, it's that we have that money, but we can only use, the check was given to us.
understand,
It can only, once we expand the nature trail,
Mhm.
then it can be used. It can't be used to maintain it.
Got it, so we have to expand it first.
We have to expand it, add the gym equipment, add the water fountain, everything that was part of the plan.
Right.
Then that's how you can use it.
Okay.
It was
got
a matching grant. We made the commitment that, hey, El Portal was going to put in 20,000, Miami Foundation gave you 20 grand, and Horace Mill was going to give us the property.
Okay, so
Horace Mill was going to, grant us the property.
so the holdup right now is the fact that we don't have the property yet from Horace Mann, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'm just putting it on the record because that was
And
asked.
now it's been somewhat, I don't want to say exasperated, but now it's septic to sewer,
Right,
now it's them. And it's also because there's a new principal, but I think that's going to be somewhat not really a conversation right anymore. So, players change, but this is where it goes back to what I said at the first meeting. Things have to be in writing because it shouldn't matter if the players are there. It's what the fact is, the law is, or what we're going to do. It doesn't matter who's there, just what's
Right.
right.
And then the other follow-up that I want to is on Pinoni. Are we, I haven't heard, are we still on hold? Yes, as per the last meeting?
Yes, until we get the location ironed out, or nailed down, I should say, with the school.
Okay, got it. And then another item that we discussed was sidewalks, so it's not just the potholes. So if we're gonna have Craig Smith take a look at the streets, I think our sidewalks are extremely important, and I always talk about those because of the fact that I walk my dog twice a day. And I see the
Yeah,
sidewalks
the
are in really
last
bad
time the
shape.
sidewalks the last time we fixed a few was when Councilperson Roxanne Isaacs was here. We probably fixed about 4 sidewalks, but that just goes about which needs to get fixed and how much money it is, absolutely.
Right. And then last but not least, what's happening with the upper tell sign? I saw it was removed. The one on North Miami Avenue. It was the one that was crashed into, and now it's removed, which is great because it looked horrible.
Yeah.
So what's the status of that?
It's not going to be replaced. We're going to put the sign on the side of the road per Miami-Dade County specifying that they didn't want the sign there. The median is theirs. I'm also still in negotiation with them about something else related to the bridge repair. So, but for now, the sign is not going to be put back up. We're going to have to put the sign on the sides of the road, which would mean taking property from those owners on the side, which could still work because that's what Miami Shores has done and other, municipalities straight up. Those roads have done.
Okay. And I do have one more thing, I forgot about that. So, oh, yes, I remember. And I spoke to the manager about this when she first started, but I'm thinking that we should probably, since Miami Shores just got a new council and, new mayor, that we should probably revisit this. But there is, on 90th Street and on Northeast First Avenue, The sidewalk was blocked, and that happened a little bit after I moved into the village, so this probably happened in like 2006, 7. And it's it's the only sidewalk that's blocked between Elbert Town and the village of Miami Shores. And so it's, because I live there,
It's blocked.
so there's a fence blocking, a chain link fence. There was a rumor that when it first happened, that it was the homeowner who paid for that from the Miami Shore side to put in the fence. And that was the rumor. I'm not sure, what happened. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Miami Shores Village knew about this. But it's been, an issue for many of us that live on that side.
So the whole thing is fenced?
So it's fenced in. So like if you're riding your bike or whatever, you gotta be careful because you can't, like if somebody doesn't know the neighborhood. Now us that live in that, we know because it's been blocked, but it's the only one. And we, the residents in the area would like to see those fences come down. So I'm going to ask that is followed up on, please.
That's on 90th and First?
90th and Northeast First Avenue. It's a dead end.
I've never noticed that.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I know why that happened. Because there was a string of burglaries that were going on, and they were saying that people were coming from over here and robbing Miami Shores. That's why that happened. I remember that. It was a big write-up in the paper and everything, and all the residents that were over there were so upset about it because we haven't had any break-ins.
Right.
Yeah,
I remember
that's
that.
what they cited to me as well when I
I
asked
remember
last
that.
year.
Right. So I'm hoping.
To curb the.
Yeah, I'm hoping that now with, we can form different relationships and, between our new managers, our mayors, our police departments, and those fences those fences can come down.
School chalk, tear down that wall.
And that is all I have for Public Works.
And also, I got an email from a concerned resident with regards to blind spots and it goes to code enforcement and hedges and so forth. So hopefully that will be addressed as well. Any other comments from committee members?
For the manager, you might have sent an email, and I might be a little behind reading emails, but did we start going to the residents with about the easement for El Jardín?
No, we haven't gone yet.
Okay,
But we
that's
need to
on-
do that.
Okay.
Yes.
So we should probably add that, El Jardín.
But yeah, I did see an email, we just.
Okay. Just wait, let's see, I'll follow through, I'll email you this week about it. That's we're all up to date, we're all up to where we need to be for the El Jardín water outfalls. We just need to get an easement from a right away from a couple of residents that the options for. So we can get that project rolling. And that'll ease with flooding and things like that.
Anything else?
No, just an updated tracking report.
Councilperson Roman?
That's it for me. Thank you.
Hearing none, go to good and welfare. Anyone? Bueller?
Anyone? Hi, Ms. Garcia, 500 Northwest 87th Street. Potholes, yes. Do something about potholes. I jog the city regularly, and I have more than one instance almost broken my ankle, sadly, as well as the bike riding. I think that was the only thing that from what you guys went over. Oh, and the nature trail, I would love to see that better. The doggy do stations, the other day I picked up an entire roll of doggy plastic baggies because the students decided to pull them out and use them as confetti. So I picked it up, I rolled it all back up and shoved it back in the little station. But just be aware that when the kids get out of school, they are using them as confetti, in a sense.
You know, I wonder if it's just, you know, if we're gonna take a look at the cost of fixing it, I mean, they're probably not in great shape right now because they've been messing. Let me just change the location of it. Maybe not. They don't have to be where it's at. And it's only the one on the east side of it, because the one on the west side, they don't bother.
They don't bother them.
It's only
It's the one, because it's right in their path to go over the bridge to the other side. So they're, you know, they're kids. They do what kids do. And they literally pulled the entire thing. It was strewn across the avenue in a long stream. So I literally just rolled it back up. Somebody laughed at me because I was sitting there rolling back up this 25-foot long piece of plastic. But if you could move that, that would be ideal. I would suggest that as a residents, maybe putting it on one of the other streets or even into the park. But the lights in the nature trail are up. And I think that's all I can think of. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibis. So I don't know if this falls under this committee, but speaking of the west side, speaking of that part where we have the Arbor Day, that gate, you know, that morning when I was setting up for Arbor Day, it was just so alarming to see all those kids jumping that gate and how unsafe that is. And I don't know what the solution for that is. You know, does the gate need to stay closed? You know, does it, you know, I don't know. I fear the,
They were jumping the gate.
yeah.
They do it constantly, just FYI. I'm on the kayak as well all the time.
Even when it's open?
Yeah.
I mean,
No, when it's closed.
No, it's closed. They climb up to the top and they climb over and they come down the other side. And it happens daily, regularly. Every time I'm out, I see 2, 3, 4 kids jumping over, adults jumping over, because they don't want to walk the distance, I guess, to come to the other side. So they actually do just jump the gate. It happens all the time.
And it's,
even with the safety rods?
it was so scary because to me, we're gonna get a call. I hate to get that call one day to hear that somebody fell into the river and
I've watched them. I've literally watched them from the river, hoping that they just don't fall over into the water.
yeah,
They-
I was there and that morning I must have seen a good, and I'm not exaggerating, 20 kids.
Yeah, it happens rarely, and in the afternoons.
Times.
In the evening now, around 6, 7 o'clock at night, it happens all the time because they just don't want to walk the distance.
So we only open it for school in the morning for them to go to school and then we
I
close
don't
it?
know what
I was actually gonna ask Officer Owens, do you remember what if you got, the gate for the Larchmont, is that only open to sunrise and sunset Monday to Friday?
During school hours.
During school hours.
Oh, okay.
It's closed the rest of the time.
Yes.
Do we have any signs up there? Maybe we should look at some signage.
Well, signage has to
I
come
know
from
it's not
the
gonna stop
county.
them, but
Well, signage has to come from the county for it to be enforced, and for actually to protect liability in any way.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe we should look
That
at
means it's gotta be county.
I mean, we definitely need to look at what we can do to mitigate that.
I actually thought you guys knew because it happens so often. I thought it was common knowledge.
Wow. I just knew that I thought that it was open between school time.
I honestly believed it was common knowledge. I really did.
Anything else? Hearing none, can I get a motion for adjournment?
Wait, what happened? Are we all done?
Yeah.
Motion for adjournment? And a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved in second, all in favor? All opposed? Committee meeting ends at 8:53 p.m.